F1 Manager 24 Season 2 Mexican Grand Prix. Our car is absolutely in the mud. 19th and 20th overall rank on grid, so I think the last few races after this are going to be simulated depending on how this race goes.
Mexico City. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez is F1's highest altitude track at more than 2,000 metres above sea level. Teams are faced with thinner air around the track here, which includes 2 straights in the first sector. Last round was a dream weekend for race winner Oscar Piastri, the Australian showing his mettle against the best of the best. Let's get this underway.
Massa made a bit of a mistake in practice 1, but it's alright, they're going to do it at some point. Bottas was quickest in practice 1 and practice 2, and Iwasa was quickest in practice 3 with Bottas all the way down in 7th. So do Aston Martin have the car to win? Drivers are very confident in qualifying. Let's smash this and get more points.
Let's hope the teams took full advantage of practice. It's time for qualifying.
Mexico City's thin air presents a real test to teams during qualifying laps. Reduced downforce can mean tricky cornering and a test for keeping the power units cool around this track.
There's been a bit of talk about Alex Albon, Karun. How are things looking for him today?
We saw some disappointing lap times from them in practice. It could be that the team were experimenting with the car, but the pressure's now on them to deliver.
So here we are, ready to resume.
Right, first lap then in Q1, we're going to have 2 runs and 2 fresh sets of softs in this session. Lawson and Behrman, P10 and P11, it looks like our old team isn't doing great. So do we stay with Haas or do we go back to our roots? Who knows, who knows. I mean, if you're watching on Twitch, at this point you'll know, but I reckon we stay with Haas maybe and try and win the championship if their car's that good. Or do we, because if it takes 2 years to win Haas the championship, then it'll be better off just going back to our team. But if it takes Haas 1 year and they're on it, then who knows. Gio comes over the line, P12, Iwasa much better, P6 in front of both Ferraris. And Carlos Sainz has a whoopsie in turn 1 / turn 2. The first sort of chicane makes a bit of a whoopsie. And on the second flying lap with 40 seconds to go left in the session, Iwasa's P9, Gio is P21. And I reckon Iwasa is safe with that lap he's got on the board. But we may as well go again because we've got enough fresh tyres and I don't see us making it into Q3, to be honest with you. It's green for both of them. Iwasa's down to 10th now, Gio down to 22nd. So there is time to find, you know, you could throw yourself into the top 10 even if you're last at this rate. And it's a yellow in the second sector for Iwasa, it's a green for Gio. Iwasa comes over the line and doesn't improve. Gio comes over the line and goes only P17. And he is out in Q1. And I think that is going to be P17 final result. It is P17 and P11 moving on to Q2. And Iwasa's first lap in Q2 on a scrub set of softs, and there'll be one final. I think there'll be 2 scrub softs and 1 fresh soft in this session, because I want to save 1 ideally for the race. I think, although don't quote me on that, it's a purple in the first sector, but with the first car to set a lap, so we're going to be purple through all 3 sectors. Because we're the first one to set a sector in this session. There's the Mercedes getting nice and out of the way, not blocking us. It's a purple in the second sector. Somebody else has now put a first sector time in because I was gone down to green up towards the line to 1:13.8. I have no idea how good that is because I can't remember the Q1 times, to be honest with you. There goes Alonso off into the wall with a nasty crash. Almost his quality is almost as bad as his real life Imola GP. and Iwasa's currently P1 in Q2. Gio was eliminated in Q1, that crash brought out the red flag, and Alonso is now out. The only other person to set a lap time is Teo Porcher, and he's slower than us, but on our second scrub set, we go purple in the first sector, because again, nobody else has set a lap. So, well, apart from Porcher, so that all that means is we're going quicker than Porcher, and he's improving on himself, and that's now been knocked down to a green. But it's a yellow in the second sector, and he's going to come round the final corner, around the stadium section, up towards the line. It's going to be a purple final sector, but no improvement, and down to 11th place. Both Ferraris and a Mercedes in the drop zone, exactly like Imola qualifying in real life. Iwasa P11, hopefully he can improve on that. I reckon if we have the pace, and if we get the maximum out of the car that we can get P8 in this session, but it's a yellow first sector, so it doesn't look like we're getting everything out of it, and it's a fresh set of tyres, so I don't know why. Maybe some negative track evolution is preventing us from being able to get into Q3. Hamilton's been knocked out, Alonso's been knocked out, Iwasa comes over the line, misses out, barely improves, misses out by a 10.5, Leclerc is out as well, and Daniel Ricciardo is going to come up towards the line. Is it going to be P11 for us, or is it going to be P12? We'll find out. Daniel Ricciardo over the line. It's going to be P12 and P17 to start the Mexican Grand Prix.
It's almost time to get things going here in Mexico City as we settle down for 71 laps of breathtaking action.
We've seen some unbelievable action around the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in the past. Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel had to fight off both Red Bull drivers only to be demoted off the podium in 2016 in what was a highly controversial moment.
Thin air at this elevation means less airflow around the car. Drivers could struggle with cooling their cars and themselves around Mexico City's track. It's a physical test of technology and human endurance alike. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived. The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. You and I won't be the only ones keeping an eye on Oscar Piastri, Karun.
They've got a fantastic opportunity starting on pole, but can they carry it through to the end?
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. What will happen next? We're about to find out at the Mexico City Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
And it's lights out and away we go. It's going to be a two-stop race today at Mexico. It's very aggressive on the tyres. This track, a lot of rotation, a lot of changes on the steering wheel have to be made over the course of the lap. Iwasa's down to 13th, losing a place to Charles Leclerc, and Gio remains 17th. He's on a medium hard. Iwasa's on a soft medium hard, I think. And then there's Iwasa getting past Tsunoda for P11. Then he's going to get past Daniel Ricciardo and up into P10 for Iwasa. All that while Gio remains 17th. Then Iwasa gets knocked back down to 13th, being overtaken by Zhou, by Hamilton, and eventually by Ricciardo, I do believe. Although it's Teo Porcher, not Daniel Ricciardo, who overtakes Iwasa next. Iwasa's down to P13. And Alonso overtakes Iwasa. Iwasa's down to P14. Then Ricciardo down to P15. And this is all before lap 10. So you can see how little pace the car actually has. Now he's down to P16, Gio in P17. Don't get me wrong, the softs are going off, but they're not atrocious. They're still a raceable tyre. This is just our car at the minute. And Iwasa gets back past Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo gets back past Iwasa. And then, Tsunoda gets past Iwasa. Iwasa gets past Tsunoda. I'm noticing a common theme here. And then Tsunoda gets past Iwasa for good, and Iwasa goes for a lunge, soft versus hard, and he was quite aggressive with him, shoving him off like that. And unfortunately, Gio can't find a way through like Albon and Leclerc in the Imola GP. And Gio is going to get Tsunoda through the stadium section. That was a robust, brave move. And Iwasa's now going for it on board chair on lap 15 with a nice move. And then Tsunoda gets him on lap 16. And Iwasa gets Tsunoda on lap 17. And lap 21, Yumo Iwasa comes into the pit lane. And Sainz is complaining about a lot of clipping. I'm assuming that would be something to do with a gearbox into the pits. Quick stop, 2.1, out we go, onto a new set of mediums. And he is out in P19
Now we're with
Sargent right behind him.
Oh, all right so far.
And here we watch Lewis Hamilton in the top 5 for Ferrari. And he locks up coming into the second chicane and gets it all crossed up and loses a place to a Mercedes. That's not too bad. Only lost one place, did lose about 4 seconds of race time, but to lose 4 seconds of race time and only lose 1 place is good. Iwasa's fighting Sargent, again very aggressive with him. Gio comes into the pits on lap 23 for another set of the medium compound tyres. Sorry about that helicopter you can hear outside. And that is a very, very slow stop, about 4 seconds delayed, 6.4 seconds stop. And Verstappen spins on turn 5. Gio comes out in P20, and a very uncharacteristic mistake of Verstappen. Spins on traction. That is a big mistake. And there's Yuki running a bit wide, although I'd say that was a corner cut more than anything else. But yeah, that could have given him some underbody damage. The race is coming towards us eventually in small little pieces. And here's Gio going for an overtake on Liam Lawson, possibly the team we're going back to next season. And that is quite painful when you think about it. And Iwasa gets, I think that would be Zhou for P16. Yeah, that was Zhou for P16. And there is Iwasa getting past Teo Porcher for P14. And now getting past Daniel Ricciardo. P13. All these have cold tyres, whereas we've got quite warm tyres. And there he is, P12 on Pierre Gasly. And Yuki Tsunoda has a gearbox issue. And here is Gio going for a move on Logan Sargent. There's quite a few mechanical issues this end of the grid. And there is Pierre Gasly overtaking Yumo Iwasa. So not one of our cars gains a place, the other one loses a place. And here's Iwasa going back down the inside on lap 36 halfway through the race for P13 on Pierre Gasly. And George Russell goes and runs a bit wide, makes a bit of a mistake. And then Teo Porcher gets Iwasa. And Gio comes into the pits on lap 44. Into the pits, we must go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. And it's another slow stop, this time about 2.9 seconds delayed, still not great though, out in P19 again, Behrman just behind us, and Iwasa's going to come into the pits now for another set of the medium compound tyres, I think. Yeah, another set of the mediums, 2.2 seconds stop, lovely, neat and tidy. And we are, I couldn't actually see us in the pit stop championship then. But we come out P16 and P19. And here's Gio making a move on Oliver Behrman after Oliver Behrman got Gio because his tyres were quite cold and not in the best of race-worthy conditions, you could say. Because he's not burnt off the slippery bit. And there goes Iwasa round the outside of one of the V-cars. I'm going to say that's Daniel Ricciardo. And into P15 with a lovely, neat move.
It's there for the taking.
And then Gio is flying around the outside into P18. Again with the same V-card, I'm going to say that's Daniel Ricciardo. And there's Gio. Is he defending? No, he's overtaking the Williams of Zhou Guan Yu. That will be. And then Gio's overtaking another V-card so that's got to be Yuki Tsunoda.
That's checkered flag.
And across the line, Gio finishes P16, and it's going to be P16 and P13. Decent race, not great, but good enough to solidify our sponsor targets. Let's keep pushing, let's move on, and let's finish the season in style and get P5 in the Constructors.
This year's Constructors champions.
And what a truly dominant display we've seen this season. I don't think it was ever in doubt.
And with that, the Sainz name remains engraved in F1 history.
Win number 5 is in the bag. They pulled out all the stops, pushing hard to earn that victory.
A carnival atmosphere, as always, for the Mexico City Grand Prix. Now, Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's result?
They didn't do too badly today. A pretty respectable outcome as far as they'll be concerned. But they need to keep pushing. They can't afford to sit back.
And that's it from us all here in Mexico City.
Coming up in the next round is the Sao Paulo Grand Prix as we head to Brazil. Join us next time at Interlagos.
Carlos Sainz wins the race, P2 Verstappen, P3 Norris, P4 Piastri. Piastri is actually quite a bit better than Norris in the standings, I didn't see that. We're 10th and 12th in the drivers, and we are P6 in the constructors, so that's what we need to solidify. P6, not P5, because Aston Martin are much better than us. But tune in next time for some more F1 Manager. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time for some more F1 Manager 24 Season 2. Goodbye.